Hi, everyone. Welcome to the aa-isp Inside Sales Studio. This week's Monday Morning Sales Minute is brought to you by our proud sponsor, Chronologic. Be sure to stick around at the end to hear how their enablement platform can fill your sales rep's calendar with qualified meetings and demos through a simple, automated process. Hey, everyone. Bob Perkins here, bringing you another aa-isp Monday Morning Sales Minute. Back on today is David Kreiger. David, welcome.
Good to be back, Bob. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, you've been on a couple times and have just shared some great words of wisdom. David is the CEO and president of SalesRoad, an outsourcing firm, and I'm sure you're going to be pretty busy coming up when the demand starts coming back big time after the pandemic, and we're already seeing some of that. But you're here to talk about some really interesting research you did recently. Would love for you to share 2 or 3 key takeaways from that research.
Yeah, thanks, Bob. So yeah, over the summer, we just were interested in how this was affecting the selling profession. And particularly, we work with a lot of SaaS companies on their SDR functionality. And so we were curious how the shutdown was affecting them. And so we interviewed about 755 SaaS sales professionals to get a sense of the impact on the profession. And there were a number of takeaways, but we'll go over 3 here. First, and I think this comes as no surprise, but maybe the magnitude does, is the impact of live video. And of those 755 SaaS sales professionals, only 5.2% were not using video in their sales process.
Yeah.
So, I think you've seen it coming. You've been talking about this for a while, even before COVID, but it's just amazing how live video adoption has been critical in the sales process. It has been adopted so quickly throughout the industry. Second, thing is talking about remote work, right? And I think this is an interesting takeaway because there's some tension here. So we found that 93% of the folks that we interviewed said that they are more likely to consider remote work going into the future. Yes. However, so that's maybe the positive, but 49.6% said that remote work had negatively impacted their ability to sell. So there is some tension here, right? And so we're looking to dive a little bit more deeply, but I think that's the tension we're seeing in the industry, right? Some people are loving the remote work, and some companies like Google and Facebook are actually moving towards a perm, or Twitter towards perm remote work. But Reed Hastings just announced that he hates it, right? And Netflix says no remote work. So there's tension in the industry as to the pros and the cons, and I think companies still haven't reconciled that yet.
Well, look, that's a great future research project. I'd love to support that with you. And I'm curious. I'm wondering what's behind that. Is part of the reason they reported that it's just hard to sell today, period, because of the economy and budgets are frozen. I wonder if that is feeding into that more so than I'm at home versus I'm in a cube farm.
Yeah, and I think you've got a link to the research so people can take a look at it, but we tried to separate that out. We tried to take out, childcare and budgets and things like that to try to understand. It still kind of blurs together a little bit, right?
Yeah.
But still, I think that there are challenges for people, especially when it's new, for selling effectively from home, even though people do understand there are benefits as well.
Yeah, you are hearing some benefits. Oh, okay. What's the third one you were going to share?
Yeah, the last, and I think this is just, I think, awesome about both the sales professions, SaaS industry in general. And so when we were asking people in May and June, when things were it was still early, right? We were still trying to figure out, well, how's this going to impact us? We found during sort of the doldrums of what was going on, over 50% of the people that were surveyed said that they were positive or very positive about the outlook for the second half of the year in their sales quotas and quota attainment and things like that. And so that was, I think, is coming true from all the people that I'm speaking to. We see that, NASDAQ and tech companies, they've just really done well during this period as an industry. And so our survey really, was showing that was going to happen just even a few months ago.
Anecdotally, as I talk with sales leaders out there, I hear a lot of them adopting new technology. So in part, to deal with the situation we're in. So there's definitely an appetite.
100%. I think SaaS was actually a big reason why people were able to sell through, the whole downturn and are a big reason why we are able to emerge from what occurred in March and April.
David, the viewers, how can they take a look at the full findings of this research? We can put it right up on the screen here.
Yeah, so if they just come to our website, salesroads.com, we have it on our homepage. You can click and download it there. I think it's also in the Resource Center at aa-isp.
Yep.
And you could always reach out to us, and we're happy to send it over to you and let you know a little bit more about the findings.
All right. Well, thanks a lot. Let's dig into this a little bit more in the near future. Sounds like
that sounds great, Bob.
David, thanks a lot, everyone. Great selling. Stay safe. Take care.
That's incredible. Okay.
It's really cool.
Oh, it's so pretty.
I'm super excited about this. I really want to make this happen.
Right now, times are challenging, right?
It's a crazy time right now.
It's become very clear we're just picking the phone up and making phone calls. We'll never make it.
I don't want to have another 45-person SDR team in this company. I'm kind of done with that. It's just way too much ergs of energy. So,
talking about Chronologic to folks this week, I was like, it's this really cool technology that, helps you execute on all the investment that was made from a sales and marketing perspective.
Like I'm a believer. You've got to get meetings on the calendar.
I think the more calls that we can get lined up on their calendar, the better, because otherwise they're just smiling and dialing.
Chronologic's working in the background. Chronologic's doing the back and forth.
Chronologic could take over and be the last mile in getting that meeting booked.
It's so direct, right? It's like a direct CTA. You're not really sending a link to an article. You're not trying to get them to click anywhere. You're trying to book a meeting.